guys been watching Alien Earth? It's so good. But I just finished it last night, and I mean, there's so much to talk about that show. But a couple themes that I was thinking about that's connecting to kind of some information I've been consuming is in that world, they have all of these, I think it's like the big five, but it's basically these big corporations that people kind of live under. It's this exact representation of technofeudalism that we talk about, where these CEOs are our lords and where there are serfs that kind of live amongst their land, which is already kind of happening in some ways in the digital space. But, the fear is that it's going to actually be a reality one day. And I think it's really well depicted in that show, and where there's these two kind of main companies that are kind of going against each other, which is Prodigy and then Wayland-Yutani. And people within this world that they've made, they live in Prodigy cities. They literally are beholden to these companies. They're made, parts of them are like a cyborg, and so they're made, and they owe so much to these companies because they've been altered by them and augmented. Very compelling story. But what it kind of connected with another idea is that earlier this week I was watching some Gartner short video about 7 unexpected changes from now until 2029. And I was kind of shocked by some of the things. And I'm really deep in this space of AI, and some of the things that they said, I was oh, interesting. And one of them was that companies, because needing compute and power is going to be so important but so hard, that companies are going to start having their own power grids. I thought, well, that makes a lot of sense. That's interesting. But that it also just tied in this bow of the direction of technofeudalism that we're already kind of going towards, and that there's some influential folks and leaders that are very into the idea. And so just this idea that okay, well, companies will likely in the future need their own power grids to just be competitive. But then it's natural to say, well, then probably people would start, and communities would start being under these companies' power grids that you're already using their software and dependent on it. Now you're going to be dependent on them for power of your, not just the software, but your livelihood too. And yeah, sorry, this is kind of a sprawling thought, but it's kind of freaky, when the cool sci-fi show is really foretelling maybe. But yeah, have you seen the show? So good.